put it on the paper and let it dry, it somehow, for some reason, goes grayer.
Hello my friends, and welcome back to a very relaxing vlog. Well, I hope. In this one you will see me play a lot with color palettes, with textures. You will see me experimenting with new art styles, and what I did not know at this time was that I would come up with a new idea, something I would be obsessed with for months and months to come. And honestly, something I am still obsessed with, so I can't wait to talk to you about it. The first thing you saw me do was testing a new color palette. I decided to follow a Skillshare class in which we would create an abstract landscape, and I decided to take this opportunity to explore new colors that I haven't really used before, such as the bright pink and the copper. These are two colors that do not really appeal to me on their own, but I think I found a way to include them in my art, which is to look at them with other colors in mind as well. So to see them as part of a full color palette and not just as one single color. I also use them in mixes, which is great because it's something that I had never done with these colors, so I found another way of using them. I discovered that I could do some very pretty colors using the copper and this bright pink that I never use. So overall, only good discoveries.
Go over it. The bottom part of that was a little light, so I just went over it. Now we have to wait for this to dry. Use that instead of the India ink that I used. I much prefer that. And we've got some nice light areas in the sky area too. So let's let it dry and let that do its thing, and then we'll put on the next layer. Now that this is dry, I'm going to do my next layer with Payne's Grey. I like
To create these paintings, we proceeded in doing a lot of different layers. Waiting for one layer to dry before adding the next really helped me to visualize every little part of this painting. So I don't know if it makes sense really, but I like the fact that this was a slow process. I think I was really able to enjoy it. As you can see, we put some salt in also, which was fun. It created a lot of interesting textures. After I do one Skillshare class, I can never stop at only one project. I feel so inspired after these, and I create a couple of other pieces, and that makes me practice even more. It allows me to expand on these ideas that we explored in the classes. By the way, this video is not sponsored by Skillshare. I know I've talked a lot about Skillshare in these past few videos, but really it's an amazing resource to get inspired and try new things. So when I have a moment where I have a couple of hours in one evening where I don't know what to do, but I know I want to paint, but I don't feel inspired to start anything, or I'm kind of scared of starting a new project. You know, sometimes you feel a bit stuck. Then I choose one of these classes and I just do it, and then I'm inspired for days.
I wanna drown inside this. I wanna drown inside this. Go down an eye, like I captain. I never had a vibe this vibrant. And also shiny with that 3-eye vision. Take this moment, I'ma die inside it. I am pariah, I am Mariah. Words they carry, don't trust the silence. Gotta fill it all up, like to my phone screen, ultraviolet. This ultraviolence, probably need more milk, but it all spilled. Sit with my guilt inside it. Temper, don't throw a tantrum. Throw words at random, make an anthem. Spin game like frisbee, make it happen. Act like I'm not trapped in the swelling wave. Time coming, yeah. want water to my neck. Tide ain't coming yet, but I want water to my neck. For a low tide, pray for a low tide. I pray for a low tide. I pray for a low tide. I play the role, I'm a people pleaser. Who I am got lost in the speaker tweeter. Teeter-totter tween neo-soul prima donna and basic bitch feeder fodder. Seeing saw it like it's all past lives I've done lived and loved 100,000 conscious. It's all connected, we all some monsters.
It's the next day, and yesterday you saw me paint a couple of paintings at the same time. It's because I was using a lot of water and I had to wait a long time for them to dry. So while one dried, I painted another and I ended up painting 3 at the same time. It wasn't even planned that way, but turns out that I used 3 different types of paper as well, with the same color palette, the same paint. So I was able to compare 3 types of paper, which is not something that I was planning on doing. And I made some discoveries. So this is the paper that I use the most, is the one in my sketchbook. So I know this paper a lot. It's a mixed media paper and it works quite well. Its only problem is that it buckles when you use a lot of water, which is to be expected from a mixed media paper. It's not made for watercolors, so it's not made to absorb a lot of water. So that was not a surprise. It behaved like I've known it to behave, so all good. And I really like the painting that I did so far. It's not done yet. This one I made on some hot pressed watercolor paper, which I have not used a lot. I've only done 2 paintings with this paper and I really like it. It behaves well. I like that the sides is sealed with something, I don't know what, but I feel like if my paint spills a little bit, it doesn't stain the paper. So I feel like that might be good. And yeah, I like this paper. It's good. Where I made the biggest discovery is when I was using this moleskin watercolor paper. It's a pad as well, but you see that the sides are not sealed. So the sides are stained already. I don't know if it's going to have an impact on my next paintings. Oh, and you can see that because it buckled, it kind of already detached a little bit. So I don't think that's very good. But what I learned, the biggest discovery that I made is that I absolutely hate this paper. I don't know if you can see, but the texture is horrible. It feels like cheap paper. It did not buckle as much as my other cheap paper because this one is in a tablet. But still, I guess it did buckle enough for it to detach on some areas. And now that I think about it, this one was maybe half the price of this one, which is the Arches watercolor, pad. I guess this makes sense. So I think that this is a very low quality, but for a low price. That being said, I thought that it would be good paper for gouache, so I'm gonna try it with gouache. I think it's gonna be a lot better. You won't see the texture as much, and yeah, that's what I'm going to use it for, I think. I will test it soon, so I know for sure, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be good for gouache. Now my plan is that I'm going to attempt saving this one a little bit. I think that I could add maybe more contrast so it looks better. And I'm going to do some mixed media on top, but I'm gonna start with this one. While it dries, I'm going to, I want to add some finishing touches with the watercolors on this one too. So I'm gonna do both of them. And I think that this one is pretty much done watercolor wise. and I'm going to add some lines and some other medias. So that's the plan, at least. We'll see how it goes. Let's start with the disaster first. My friends, we will do some tests now, because the next step is adding some thin gouache lines on top of the painting, and I want to know what it's going to look like before I do it on the real painting. I could use my painting that I did on the crappy paper, but it's not dried yet. So we're going to use this one. I'm going to use this gouache. I got it recently to replace my gouache from the Himi Miya palette. The gouache that I still have in the Himi Miya gouache is really dried, so it's gonna take me a while to reactivate it. And I think it's gonna be too thin because I'm gonna have to put a lot of water in it. So that's why I took out this one that I haven't used yet, in the hopes that it's going to be thicker than the Himi Miya. I am going to try it with a very thin brush. I have two here that we will test. The goal is to do some like really thin lines. And also we will use this. I think I have another one that I could use. I had a third one. It's somewhere in there. Can you see it? Please help me. I did tape them to my pencils because I had nothing to use them with. So I also have a micron pen that I can try. It's black though. If I want to add a black line, I can use it. I have this jelly roll pen as well, but I don't think it's gonna work as well, but we are going to try it either way, so we'll know. I have this black pen that I can try as well. I found it. It was with my brushes. So it's a bit bigger. I have three sizes. This one is the smallest size. This one is well, mid-size, and this one is the biggest one. I don't know how well it's gonna work though. Let's try the pens first, since I don't need gouache for that. Let's try the jelly roll. So it makes a white line, but it's pretty pale. I don't know how it's gonna dry, but I feel like it's gonna dry lighter than it is, and it's pretty hard to go back on it after. So I'm not sure, maybe not. We'll see how it dries. Okay, the black is intense. I think I rather have the white because it's gonna be a bit more subtle. Maybe this pen is too thick. Yeah, I prefer the thinnest one, but still maybe the black is gonna be too intense. All right, so we're gonna put a little bit of gouache here. And I think I need some water. So what I'm supposed to do is put some gouache here I'm gonna have to wash it very well after. And then try to create a line. I need more. So I can do a very thin line. But it's not consistent. How could I do a consistent line?
Yeah.
Maybe if I try the bigger one. This was the thinnest one, but maybe if I try this one, it's gonna be better. Well, it does not seem to be working very well, but if I try, let's try this one. This is very thin, so maybe I could have like a similar line. Yes, I think this is going to be way easier. It's just that it's thicker. I want the lines to be super thin, so I'll have to put like a minimal amount of pressure, I think. I think that's gonna be the simplest way to achieve the effect I'm looking for, so we are gonna go for it. Yesterday I had some fun creating some abstract watercolors using a new technique for me. I used a plastic bag to put on top of my watercolor, so while the watercolor dried it would create a really interesting texture, and it did. It's so nice. This is the bag that I used. It's a bag you use to create ice cubes, but you could also use some plastic wraps. I did not have any, so I used this, and I think I will be able to wash the paint off, let it dry, and reuse it, so that's great. And I love the two paintings that I created. Well, one I love a lot more than the other, but the other is interesting as well. I'm gonna show you. This is the one that I love the most. I think the textures are just so amazing, and as you can see I added some white how do you say that, line work? Not line work, I forgot. So I did some white details, but you can see what happened. I put the paper bag here like this. So it created some bubbles and the paint kind of followed the bubbles, and I made sure to use a very granulating color. I used Van Gogh Dusk Yellow with a bright red because these two colors would be complementary. The dusk yellow is not really yellow, it's more like a green. Oh, my cat needs attention. This is the second one. It's the one I like the least. You can see that the lines were a bit more brown, and this is because the red paint and the greenish paint mixed together. Well, I did this on purpose. I wanted to see what would happen if I mix the two colors because I know that they are complementary, which means that when you mix them together, they kind of neutralize each other. It would create kind of a brown, so I wanted to test that out. And I mean, this one is a lot more aggressive, I feel like, than the other. I don't know if you see what I mean, but the lines are more intense. And you know, the colors that I chose are not, well, red is not known to be a relaxing color. Now that I have some red and I have some like very intense lines that pop in your face, I feel like this painting has a lot more aggressivity in it, which is not a bad thing. It's just a thing. When I create a bigger painting, if I do, I will know that this is something that can happen. I would love to test this technique with different colors. I think it's important to grab a granulating color because you have even more texture when you do that. So yeah, here are the two paintings that I did. This one, which I love, and this one, which I like, but I don't love. I'm still trying some hairstyles, so don't come at me if you think my hair looks weird. I'm trying some things out, okay? But doing these paintings gave me an idea. I would love to try this technique on a huge paper that I could put in my bedroom or something. So of course I would not choose red as a color because I don't think that red is very relaxing. So I would want something that inspires calm, relaxation, peace. I would need some granulating colors. I like the green. The green is good. So I think I will have to do some tests and I will make a video on it for sure. I think it's gonna be very, well, interesting and a challenge for me because abstract art is not something... Oh, my mic. I was saying that abstract art is not something that I've been doing much. I've pretty much only started it in one of my last vlogs. So I think that there's a lot of potential in it. So I would like to try to make more and eventually maybe do like a huge painting. That would be so nice. Let's be honest, my bedroom walls are pretty sad. There's nothing on them. It's just white walls. And my bedroom is pretty big, so there's a lot of real estate for paintings that I have not used. If you've seen my studio makeover video, you will know that decoration is not my strength. I get pretty impatient and I don't really have a vision of what I want to do, so I just don't do anything. I've used this paper to create it, by the way. The Archer's hot pressed watercolor paper. So far I like it very much.
So casually keep diving into concrete. So bittersweet. Huh? Keep losing sleep while driving in the backseat. What's left of me? Drowning in what feels just like an ocean. Negativity is getting closer. How to keep the heat when it gets colder, you know. Sometimes everything just gets harder.
yesterday I saw a pigeon and I decided that I would paint a pigeon. So that's what I'm doing right now. I have this blank page in my sketchbook. So I don't want to leave it blank. So I'm gonna paint a pigeon right there, maybe two. We'll see. And then I'm torn. I'm really torn because you see the canvas right here. I really want to paint a painting using my water mixable oil paints. I really want to do that. So maybe I could start it today. This is filled, and this one is not. So that's a problem. The only thing I have to be careful with is that I should not put too much water on my paper because I have a painting on this side that I made using my gouache. So if the paper gets too wet, this side will reactivate as well and like transfer on this side. I don't want that. I think maybe I should put like a paper to protect this other side. Well, it's already the end. I hope you like pigeons. I think that we are ending strong, if I do say so myself, with these majestic animals. These garbage-eating creatures. We could say that they are masters at adaptation and city life. Not critters at all. They're so cute. That's the end. Yep, that's the end. I just need to finish painting this flower and the pothos plant that you see on the corner there, and then we're gonna be done. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I would love to have you back. So, until next time, take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.